Hello, this is Lillian welcoming you to the 1895th edition of the Enfield Talking Newspaper, Dateline the 19th of March 2015. The readers this week are Joan, Rod and myself, Lillian, with Colin on the controls. The items that we will be reading come from our local newspapers, the Enfield Gazette and Advertiser and the Enfield Independent, and are their copyright. Our title music is Country Rock Polka, composed by Pat Prilly, Fernand Boulan, Harry Brewer, and performed by Jean-Jacques Perry, and is used with his kind permission. Local stories include Team Will Combat Sexual Exploitation of Children, Park Mansion House Fears Raised at Pact Meeting, Put the Children's Interests First and Resign from Board, and Hospital Rebuild Project Gets the Green Light. I have no special news items this week. If you are experiencing any problems receiving your Enfield Talking newspaper, please phone Diane de Jersey on 0208 805 6578. She is your listener's representative and she will be pleased to help you. And now over to Joan, who will read the first item of local news.
An MP has called for board members of the Free School Trust to step down following the resignation of two more head teachers. Enfield North MP Nick Dubois believes people are losing confidence in Cuckoo Hall Academy Trust after Matthew Laban, head teacher of Kingfisher's Hall Academy in the Ryde, Enfield, and Alison Edmonds, head teacher at the Woodpecker Hall Primary Academy in Nightingale Lane, Edmonton, both resigned. The trust runs 5 schools across the borough, and a series of suspensions last year prompted a Department for Education, D&E, investigation into allegations of gross misconduct. As a result of the investigation, the Trust's executive head teacher, Patrick Sauter, her husband, Phil Sauter, a director on the Board of Trustees, and Sharon Ahmet, head teacher at Cuckoo Hall Primary Academy, were suspended. Ms. Ahmet and Ms. Sauter were both reinstated in their posts after being cleared internally. But Mr. Sauter stepped down from his position. Mr. Dubois said, "Parents and now senior staff are worryingly losing confidence in the principal board members of Cuckoo Hall after such damning report from the D&E and now the loss of support from senior staff. They should put the children's interest first and resign." The Education Funding Agency, a government body, threatened to cut funding to the Academy if it did not improve. A spokesman for Cuckoo Hall Academy's Trust said, "Both Matthew and Alison have made fantastic contributions to our schools during their time here. Matthew has decided to take up a new opportunity in September, but will be with us until the end of the year. Whilst Alison wishes to step back from her current role, we are hopeful that she may stay on as a classroom teacher so that the Trust pupils continue to benefit from her expertise and experience. It would be absolutely wrong for anyone to suggest that these announcements are anything other than staffing changes that are sadly a fact of life for all schools and organisations.
A new team of experts has been hired in Enfield to combat child sexual exploitation. The Enfield Safeguarding Children Board has been set up ahead of National Child Sexual Exploitation Day and is holding a special event designed to bring young people, professionals and council leaders together to look at the challenges the borough faces and what action is being taken to protect youngsters. The Child Sexual Exploitation Champions have each received intensive training on how to identify the signs of exploitation. To coincide with the event, Enfield Police are running Operation Make Safe, aimed at targeting taxi companies and hotels which have been used as fronts for paedophile rings. Geraldine Gavin, Enfield Child Sexual Exploitation Board Chairwoman, said, "Our child sexual exploitation champions will play a vital role in identifying and tackling child sexual exploitation in Enfield and will help protect our children and young people from harm and abuse. We will not sit idly by, and we are absolutely committed to putting in place the safeguards we need to ensure that children are protected and families in Enfield know that they can come forward and raise concerns and that something will be done about them." Afar Orhan, Enfield Council's Cabinet Member for Education, Children's Services and Protection, said, "We have all heard and seen the news reports about the horrific abuse perpetrated against children in places such as Rotherham and Oxford, and we must not be complacent in any way."
Plans to completely rebuild Chase Farm Hospital in a £275 million project have been approved. Enfield Borough Council's Planning Committee voted unanimously last Thursday to pass the multi-million pound development, which will also see 500 new homes and a new primary school built on the site on the Ridgeway, Enfield. The hospital is owned by Royal Free Hospital, and the rebuild is expected to cost in the region of £120 million. A further £125 million from the government and £30 million from Enfield's Clinical Commissioning Group will be provided over the next 5 years. The Royal Free London NHS Trust last year ruled out building a new accident and emergency unit on the site after it was closed in December 2013. Enfield North Conservative MP Nick Dubois spoke in favour of the application at the Planning Committee and told the Enfield Independent the approval is a big step towards giving better health care, and hit out at Enfield North candidate Joan Ryan for fraudulent claims about the hospital's future. Mrs. Ryan, the former MP for Enfield North and Labour candidate for the 2015 election, condemned the approval and stated on social media that it is the death blow of Chase Farm. She said, "I have very little trust in the future of this hospital. It is closure by stealth and is the death blow to the pledge of Nick Dubois and David Cameron that the A&E at the site will not close. I am not against redevelopment, but the modular build means that they can easily take bits away from the site if they choose." David Sloman, Chief Executive of the NHS Trust, insisted this would not mean the end of Chase Farm Hospital and said it had secured the hospital's future. He said, "Chase Farm is simply not sustainable in its current form. So this decision means a secure future for the hospital and the services it provides."
More than 100 people attended a job fair held to celebrate National Apprenticeship Week. Barnet and Southgate College held the job fair at its Wood Street campus in High Barnet last Wednesday for people aged 16 to 24. Employers from industries including hospitality, healthcare, and IT were all at the event. Current apprentices were also present to talk to young people. Among them was hospitality apprentice Lerma Lagriot, who works at Hospitality House in North Finchley while studying at the college's Southgate campus. The 19-year-old said, "I really enjoy being a hospitality supervision apprentice as you have the chance to train and earn money at the same time. I'd recommend an apprenticeship to any young person as you not only gain experience, you gain more knowledge and you're gaining real-life work experience while earning a wage at the same time." Barnet and Southgate College Principal David Burns said, "We are exceptionally proud of the fact that we are committed to apprenticeships at the college, and to date we have placed nearly 2,500 young people with employers. The scheme is of huge benefit to employers, especially when many apprentices go on to permanent full-time positions, proving the overarching theme of National Apprenticeship Week, which is that apprenticeships really do deliver for both employers and the individual involved."
Students had the chance to quiz former Cabinet member Tessa Jowell and Enfield North parliamentary candidate Joan Ryan when Labour's pink bus rolled through the school gates. The pair, along with Baroness Doreen Lawrence, were questioned by sixth form pupils at Enfield County School in Hollywalk, Enfield. The bus is part of the party's Woman to Woman campaign and has been touring the country to encourage more women to vote and strive for gender equality. Students were quick to question the thinking behind the bus, with student Ada Vallon asking the former culture minister whether the colour of the bus reinforced stereotypes and could further alienate some women. Ms. Jowell was quick to defend the choice of colour. She said, "I think it's a talking point. It's fun, and it did get a lot of people talking, not just people being apathetic. Whenever women do something for women in politics, they will be mocked. The fact is that if you talk to the women on the bus, the support has been fantastic all over the country. Women have been behind the idea, and there is a sense for a focus on women, for women, by women, and I think it's a good thing." Ms. Ryan added, "Would it get anybody talking if it wasn't pink? I feel it has been a catalyst for the conversation to actually happen about the issues, which don't just affect women, but men as well, and this has promoted those issues." Concerns were raised about the creation of all-women shortlists and claims of further segregation. In response to that point, Ms. Jowell said, "I think the point is that you do not have to have them, all-women shortlists, forever, and it is a way of building to equality and it will create better representation." Ms. Ryan added, "I would just say that the alternative is to have a very unfair and unequal situation. It has gone on for such a long time, with such little progress. If we do not have all-women shortlists, then progress won't be made. We need a lot more women in Parliament who will help us to get the culture change we need to see." The party was promoting the policy of 25 hours of free childcare for 3- and 4-year-olds of working parents, as well as tougher action on domestic violence and sex crime. Ms. Ryan said, "When I speak to young women in Enfield, too often they feel left behind and underrepresented in politics."
Pub lovers are being urged to turn out in force to a public meeting set to discuss the future of a borough landmark. The campaign group trying to save the Green Dragon at the corner of Green Lanes and Vickers Moor Lane in Winchmore Hill has organised the meeting for next Thursday, March the 26th, at 7:30 p.m, upstairs in the King's Head pub in the Green, Winchmore Hill. Mike McLean, 43, of Winchmore Hill, set up the campaign group last month when it emerged that the mock Tudor building had been sold to a group called Green Lanes Investments. Since the sale went through, the pub has been turned into a discount shop. But Mike is determined that with enough community cohesion, the Green Dragon can be returned to its former glory as a local pub serving food and ale. Lots of people are expressing lots of views on the Facebook page and want a way of bringing all those ideas and passionate views together in one place under one roof, and we want to give the local community a chance for their voice to be heard, he told the Advertiser. As well as organising the meeting, Mike and his wife Sharon have handed Enfield Council a petition with more than 4,100 signatures on it, calling for the building to be kept as a pub. And tomorrow they will be meeting Steve O'Connell, a member of the London Assembly and Conservative spokesman for planning, who has penned an article calling for local pubs throughout the capital to be preserved. This is a fight that needs to be fought by the whole community, Mike added. A lot of people have some strong feelings and good opinions, and it is important to get everyone together so we can get ideas and move things forward. Mike added that MP for Enfield Southgate David Burrows has been a vocal supporter of the campaign and would be holding a mobile surgery outside the former pub tomorrow, when anyone can tell him of their concerns about the future of the site.
The head of the trust, responsible for redeveloping Chase Farm Hospital, has told the Advertiser that the new development will leave a phenomenal legacy in the borough. Speaking after the decision to grant planting permission to provisional proposals to redevelop the Chase Farm site at the Ridgeway, Enfield, David Sloman, Chief Executive of the Royal Free NHS Foundation Trust, said that the revamp was desperately needed. The buildings on the site are falling down, he said. We've had to condemn the laundry. Some of the buildings have reached the end of their safe lives. They are not fit for purpose. The original buildings were designed to provide one sort of service, but over time, their use has changed. So, for example, the pathology department in the current site was not built to deal with the advanced technology that comes with 21st century medicine. Mr. Sloman said at the moment, the way the hospital was laid out was interfering with treatment for patients, with buildings spread out over a sprawling site, forcing patients to be transferred from one building to another, often in wheelchairs. For patients, it means that they don't have a good experience, and it risks compromising their dignity.
An epilepsy charity has given an award to a girl born with the severest form of the condition as a thank you for raising its profile. 13-year-old Scarlett McDonough, who is a student at St Martha's Senior School in Camlet Way, Hadley Wood, was given the award by Epilepsy Action, which raises funds for research and awareness of the condition. Scarlett shared the award with mum Katie in recognition of the work they have done for the charity at events and discussion groups aimed at helping other parents whose children are living with epilepsy. Scarlett, who lives in Hadley Wood, suffers regular fits despite having had brain surgery. She used to have more than 100 seizures every day, ranging in severity, and spent 9 months at Great Ormond Street Hospital in central London as a youngster. She also underwent surgery on 5 occasions between 2007 and 2013, but still has around 20 seizures a day. But Katie says the treatment has changed her daughter's life. She told the Advertiser, "We are extremely grateful for the chance to be able to share our experiences with other families who are going through a similar experience. Thanks to the work Epilepsy Action does, Scarlett has been able to lead a much more normal life and go to school much more often. We're very touched to be given the award." The mum and daughter team won praise for helping to make a DVD to help promote Epilepsy Action, which was aired at Scarlett's school. A spokesman for the charity told the Advertiser, "They are a lovely family, have done a lot for us, as well as helping to make the advice. They have spoken at events we have organised to tell other people about their experiences. For more details, you can visit www.epilepsy.org.uk.
A group of boys donned their red noses and tested new limits as they ran a 5 km race for charity. Members of the 10th Enfield Boys Brigade in Winchmore Hill raised £250 for comic relief in sponsorship money for their race. The 8 to 10-year-olds ran the race last Thursday. Group leader Chris Norman said the boys loved getting involved with Red Nose Day. "We started out by watching the Red Nose Day video on YouTube and thinking about how we could help, and we came up with our 5 kilometre sponsored run. From that point onwards, the boys were engaged in collecting sponsors and came along on the day of the event, sponsor forms in hand and raring to go. It was a great evening and many dressed up for the occasion."
Zombies took over the school as teachers tried to raise money on Red Nose Day. Teachers from Garfield Primary School in Springfield Road, New Southgate, produced a film about zombies to raise money for comic relief. Teacher Richard Grant wrote and directed the half-hour film set in the school, filming it using just a handheld camera and a tripod. Mr. Grant said, "I decided on a zombie theme to tie in with Friday the 13th. So it shows zombies taking over the school and dancing in a big thriller number at the end. The kids really enjoyed it. They got the humor and loved the zombies. But we were careful to make the film more entertaining and child-friendly rather than frightening, so that the younger children could enjoy it as well." Teachers, site managers and caretakers all gave up their evenings to act in the film. Mr. Grant said, "It was hard work, and I haven't seen my family in weeks, but we're all very happy with the end product. Everyone who took part was amazing. People were very good sports, and no one minded looking a bit silly." Kiss FM DJ Melvin Adoom, who lives nearby, also acted in the film and gave the school a mention on the radio on Red Nose Day. The school produced its first film to raise money for comic relief 2 years ago. This year, children and staff have raised more than £3,000, but they hope to exceed the last film's £4,000 comic relief success by selling DVDs of this year's zombie film. Headmistress Karen Kawaya said, "I hope that by participating in the project, pupils will be inspired to make their own positive contribution to society." Ms. Kawaya said, "It was fantastic that the film was set in the current building, which will be demolished after the school moves to a new home in September 2015. She added, "This film will be something to remember it by."
Has won a prize for the way it helps people shape the services they use. The council was selected for the Community Involvement Award at the Local Government Chronicle (LGC) Awards after being shortlisted in the entrepreneurial category for offering a variety of opportunities. Councillor Doug Taylor said, "The winning projects showcase the unique solutions that Enfield Council is using to tackle the issues that confront us every day, by providing real opportunities for local people to shape the services they use and use their experiences to provide support and advice to others. Here in Enfield, we put people first and are delighted that the LGC recognised our innovative thinking and the solutions and benefits it brings to everyone in our borough."
I have a column by Jane Johnson. She is the Enfield Borough Police Commander. And she says, "As we approach the end of another financial year, it is a good time to reflect on what has happened for policing in the borough and how we are responding to crime. I am really pleased to tell you that there have been 127 fewer robberies, 289 fewer victims of motor vehicle crime, and 476 fewer victims of burglary compared to the previous year. I hope you have seen some of our messages around the borough on the good work we have been doing. Our main challenge remains to reduce violent crime, where crime has increased by almost 26%, and to build the confidence of the community in what we do. Violent crime has increased across London, and as I mentioned in my last column, Operation Equinox is running to reduce violent offences across London. We are taking action to disrupt gangs and criminal behaviour and targeting those we believe pose the greatest risk. I have increased the number of officers in the teams responsible for gang crime and serious offences, and we have already had some notable arrests and successes. We also want to be more visible and reassure you that we are tackling crime in the borough. To achieve this, we have reviewed how we operate neighbourhood policing across London. We will be reallocating some of the work currently being done on the neighbourhood teams to free up their time for more patrols to prevent crime and arrest offenders. We have now reached the end of side 1 of this tape. Please stop your machine now, take out the cassette, turn it over and start side 2.